And I'm wondering how you guys at Coinbase are thinking about this bill becoming law when these obstacles remain.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to be with you here today discussing this very timely and important issue. I start from the fundamental premise with legislation in that you cannot have the perfect be the enemy of the good, particularly when enhanced consumer protections and law enforcement tools are at stake. No one in DC gets everything that they want. That's why it's a negotiation and it's not a capitulation. Here, you have to baseline this bill against the status quo and ask yourself, will consumers be better off? And there is no longer a reasonable debate on that question. It is a resounding yes. And we know that because there is a growing consensus of groups that support this bill.
So
we have
yeah, go ahead.
Let me slide. You got law enforcement groups like the Fraternal Order of Police supporting it. You have most major asset managers like Goldman Sachs and Schwab and BlackRock supporting it. And you have millions of crypto customers themselves supporting this bill because it provides these enhanced consumer protections.
Some Democrats, consumer watchdog groups, as we just heard from Stephen Dennis, say that they complain the bill would not stop the president or his family from continuing to profit from his meme coin and other crypto ventures. Are you guys fine with that?
So the ethics provisions that you're referencing are something that the industry has not been involved in. Those discussions and details have been hammered out between members of the Senate and the administration. And as Stephen himself just noted, it's our understanding that Senate Democrats and Republicans continue to work together to try to resolve those issues. And we are in support of efforts that will allow this consumer protection bill to ultimately advance.
Okay, so that's kind of the take for you on ethics. The industry, at least, kind of has to step back. From where you sit, ethics aside, what is the single biggest obstacle to the Senate passing the Clarity Act?
Well, the truth is the obstacles continue to shrink. One of the benefits of some of the timing pressures that I know have been covered is with respect to the Clarity Act is it allows parties to sharpen their focus and prioritize what really matters. And you don't have the same cacophony of issues that are being raised in terms of the substance of this bill. And that's because ultimately, again, law enforcement, retail investors, asset managers realize that compared to the status quo, this is going to introduce a comprehensive set of rules and regulations that do not currently exist. And it's important to keep in mind. Yes,
Let me just ask you, Scott Bessent had said last week that we're on the 1 yard line when it comes to passage of the Clarity Act. What yard line are we on right now?
We're either on the 1 yard line or maybe it's the half a yard mark, which I know is still in football is technically the 1 yard line. And that's because you still have Democrats and Republicans working together to get this bill across the finish line. The number of issues, the voices expressing concern about this bill continues to actually quiet down because so many of the details have been worked out, and what remains is far narrower than the list of issues that existed even just a few months ago. So I think we remain very, very close to passage. You've identified some of the few remaining hurdles, but all of them appear surmountable. And as long as Democrats and Republicans are working together to get it across the finish line, I remain optimistic that we will do just that.
I told you we'd get to what's happening inside Coinbase, and that's where I want to go now, Ryan. We've seen several Coinbase executives leaving or changing jobs in recent weeks. I think from the outside to some, this may look like a lot of the leadership team that essentially fought the war when it comes to what's happening in Washington right now, maybe leaving at a time before a peace deal is signed or before the battle is won, if we want to continue with that metaphor. From your view, and I know you're relatively new, but what is going on at Coinbase?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. This is the next chapter for Coinbase. For so long, we were fighting that war on crypto, but we won. We defeated the SEC's case against us. And what you've seen in just even the last year and a half is a sea change in terms of how crypto innovates and how it interacts with its regulators. And so we recognize that now is the time to transition from defense to offense, from reactive to proactive. And so part of that involves, me stepping into the role of vice chairman and other leaders to continuing to step up so that we can kind of triple down on our efforts to innovate, to unlock and introduce new products to our customers, and to expand in other jurisdictions, all so that we can truly become the future of finance going forward.
Ryan, before you came to Coinbase, you were general counsel at Citadel Securities, which is one of the most sophisticated trading operations in the U.S. on the planet, really. Coinbase is now building equity tradings, prediction markets, perpetual futures, AI tools, all on top of that existing crypto exchange, which some might say sounds an awful lot like Citadel's playbook. Is the end game here for Coinbase, your new company, to become a full-range, fully integrated financial firm that ends up competing with the firm that you came from?
Well, our goal, as you identified, is becoming the everything exchange. We want to be a one-stop shop where you can trade stocks, commodity futures, crypto, perpetuals, you name it. We either have it or are going to want to try to build it. So we see the entire financial industry as both partners and potentially competitors, because at the end of the day, the future of finance is going to run on crypto rails, and Coinbase has been a leader in that regard. So we see an inevitable convergence between traditional finance and crypto, so that a couple of years from now, even your questions are not going to be identifying this dichotomy within the industry, but rather talking about how every modern financial institution is embracing the efficiencies and benefits that crypto provides.
Ryan, is there going to be a challenge in terms of branding and making sure that customers and potentially new customers understand that this vision for Coinbase is more than just crypto?
I don't think so. We've already launched many of these products, as you note, and at the end of the day, customers want convenience. They certainly want clarity, and they want regulation. One of the benefits this bill is going to provide is ensuring that there is this comprehensive structure between the SEC and the CFTC as it relates to crypto, but also as it relates to trading all of these other asset classes, both on crypto exchanges, but also within traditional finance. And so again, both traditional finance and crypto are involved in these conversations, and you see companies like Goldman Sachs, Schwab, Fidelity, all supporting this bill because they are embracing crypto. They are investing in crypto, and they are partnering with companies like Coinbase because they too recognize that crypto is a future of finance. And so it's really not a question of branding. It's a question of providing customers with a more efficient and thoughtful way to engage in the entire financial ecosystem.